Hi, you're listening to Screen of the Crime.
I'm Tess.
And I'm Maggie, and this is a podcast where we talk about true crime
And what would happen if your favorite TV and movie characters committed those crimes.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Especially our Rochester audience, hello, welcome. It is snowing
Yeah.
a lot right now.
No, it's been snowing for the past 7 hours at least.
Winter has finally come,
Yeah.
and it has hit us hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was clearing off my car earlier today and I was like, oh boy. Thinking I have in the trunk of my car I have all the supplies for if you get stuck in the snow, which is just towels basically. And then
If your car gets stuck in the snow?
yeah. So, that's good. But I also have a really nice snow wiper thing, or what's it called, ice scraper.
Why are you looking at me? I don't know these things.
I'm looking at you.
I don't have a car, nor am I from a place where it snows.
The ice scraper thing, but it's one of the ones where it's longer, so you don't have to jump over to get all the ice off, so that's fun. But yeah, no, it's snowing a lot. I almost drove off the road earlier today, so.
Yeah, Tess graciously picked me up from school like she does every Monday because the bus schedule doesn't go at all.
Yeah.
So it really sucks that it's snowing because none of my roommates can drive in the snow.
That might mean they can't drive in the snow.
Well, one of them is scared, and the other one switches cars with her parents when it snows to get the car with the snow tires.
Oh,
So she hasn't swapped cars yet.
Oh.
And the third one, I don't know, doesn't want to. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not terrible at driving in snow. It's not really that different. You just have to be careful. It will be interesting though when we go drive on the hill at the hill. That would be fun. That turn when you turn in, it's a sharp turn coming right at the bottom of the
Yeah, you're
steep hill.
almost down the bottom of the hill, so you're full acceleration. Not your
Yeah.
car, but your car is going
Fast.
velocity style, and then you just have to make a right turn and swing it.
Yeah.
So you gotta pump the brakes.
That's gonna be an interesting time.
Yeah.
We might drift. I'm gonna say we're probably going to.
All right,
Unless it gets plowed by then. Which
I'll
it might.
prepare myself.
Fun. No, yeah, but it's snowing, it's winter, and it is cold. So, it's fun.
And all the lights are off in Tessa's room.
Oh, you can turn the light on if you want.
I don't need to.
Okay. I just always have my lights off because I don't like the overhead light in here, so. What's new, though? This has been consistent in what the old room we recorded in, too, so.
Yeah. No, yeah. It's always dark.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I guess we should jump into this case. Unless
Okay.
do we have any updates? Oh, it's enrollment time for our classes. So by the time you hear this, I will be enrolled in my spring classes. I don't know about Tess because she can't remember when her enrollment time is, but I know that I will be.
Yeah.
So that's exciting and upsetting. Mm-hmm. We have 4 more weeks of classes left. I'm so excited to leave. And also, I've started reading a new novel. Updates on my life. I finished. Okay, since the last time we recorded, I started and finished the book 13 Reasons Why. Here is my short review. The book is bad. The writing is bad. Hannah Baker is a bitch, and she's petty. And no one should have been blamed for her death. Except for maybe the guy who kind of sort of raped her.
Yeah.
Which he really raped her in the show. In the novel, I would say it's rape. She said it wasn't. It's not important. I didn't like the book. I didn't like the ending of the book. And I don't like Hannah.
So just a 0 out of 10.
She literally gave a tape to someone for being a bad friend. She was like, you didn't want to go to the party with me. You just wanted me to drive you to the party. And I could sense that, Jenny. I could sense that, you just smile and you're nice to everyone, but none of it's real. And I'm like, so what?
Oh my god.
She's like, I could see through that. And I was like, good for you, Hannah.
Yeah.
You're so special. You can see through everyone's little fake personality. Whatever. Anyway, so I started a new book. I have an hour and a half left. They're audiobooks. Mm-hmm. It's called Get Well Soon. Do you want to guess what it's about? I'll give you a hint. It's a young adult novel about a girl. Now, what's it about?
She's like in a mental...
You got it, girl.
Really?
You're
oh my
in.
God.
All right. So it's this girl. Here are her descriptors. I'm not being rude. Promise. She's fat. She doesn't wear makeup. And she wants to kill herself. Now, is this a theme that I'm reading these books? No. Anyway, so she's in a mental hospital, and the book is she's writing these letters to her best friend. Mm-hmm. And so that's the whole book. It's like her writing these letters.
Yeah.
Does it ever go into her mental state? No. Does it ever go into the fact of why she wants to kill herself besides the fact that she thinks she's fat? No. What is it about, you ask? Well, there's a hot boy named Justin in the mental hospital.
Oh, God.
What do we know about Justin, you ask? Well, he's a bad boy. Just kidding.
Every single thing, like every single show you're so into is
I love the bad boy character. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't like Justin. Here's why. He's not actually a bad boy. I mean, I don't know why he's in the mental hospital, but I know for a fact that the main character is so utterly turned on by the fact that Justin is ambidextrous.
What?
So first of all, she's like, I saw a boy. He was kind of cute. He was spinning his... This isn't the same guy. This isn't Justin. This is a different guy. This is white dreadlocks guy. And she's like, I saw him writing with his left hand. That's so hot. And I'm like, shit. Okay. President material, I guess. Because, most presidents are left-handed. And then she says Justin. And she's like, shit, Justin's eating with his left hand. He must be fucking left-handed, right? She's like, that's so fucking hot. And then she sees him write with his right hand. She's like, shit, he's ambidextrous? This hospital's out to kill me. That's so fucking hot. And I'm like, whoa. Calm down.
Oh my God.
He likes the Doors. The band, the Doors.
Oh.
She likes the Ramones. She loves the Ramones. Because she's edgy and she likes rock music. She plays the bass, so she's you. And
I would say, so far, most of the description, I'm like, yeah, that sounds about like
And she likes Justin because he's a feminist. And I'm not saying he's done feminist things, because he hasn't. Mm-hmm. But he has stated that he's a feminist. And she's like, man, I love me a feminist.
Why is he in the mental hospital?
No, I don't know. I know that his right hand is slightly burnt Johnny Tremaine style, but not molded together. Like, he can clearly still use it. He won't tell us his tragic backstory. I haven't unlocked it yet.
Oh.
They're not allowed to touch in the hospital, so she gets incredibly turned on by literally anything that ever touches her ever, because she's never kissed anyone ever before in her life. So, like, the backs of their hands were touching, and she's like, the hair on the back of our hands dance together playfully. And I'm like, oh,
that's
I want to
gross.
fucking die.
Why do you read these terrible books?
Okay, so I was scrolling through the young adult section because I realized, as I was watching Looking for Alaska, that I skipped out on the whole young adult reading novels phase of my life because I was reading Harry Potter at the time because I was behind.
Oh.
Not behind on reading. I had a high reading lexile, I promise. I was behind because I should have read Harry Potter when I was a child, and then I didn't, so I had to read it as a young adult.
Yeah.
But I never read any John Green books. I never read Perks of Being a Wallflower. I never read It's Kind of a Funny Story, and I wanted to.
Now, you should read... Those are the better ones.
No, I know that, but the audiobooks don't exist in the library.
Oh, I see.
So I was looking for replacements, so I scrolled through the whole audiobook section of young adult novels on the library app. By the way, if you get a library card, you can use the Overdrive app, this isn't an ad, to listen to audiobooks for free, which is super great. And so I have 2 books. I have Kids with Appetites, which seems fun. And then I have this book, Get Well Soon, which I'm almost done with. And I thought Get Well Soon might be fun because, okay, I know that I set myself up because the description was like, she's in a mental hospital. Who knew that she could find a relationship? And I was like, hell fucking yeah.
God.
But I understand now that, like, it's a bad book.
Yeah.
She's really annoying, and she's like, I lost 10 pounds because I don't really have an appetite. And I was like, shut the fuck up. I'm sorry. I'm upset.
I read Percy and Wallflower, and I really enjoyed. I don't know, like if I read it again now, which I kind of want to just to see, like now that I'm older and reading it, how I would feel about it. But I thought Percy and Wallflower was good when I read it.
I watched the movie, and I'm gonna be honest, I was confused because I loved Logan Lerman is the thing. Mm-hmm. I'm in love with Logan Lerman, and not at the time, but I do like the other guy. What's his name?
Oh, fuck.
Something, is it Miller?
Ezra Miller.
Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. But in the book, not the book, I never read the book. In the show, I got confused when, like, Logan Lerman was having, like, a breakdown or whatever, and he was, like, banging his head on things or something. I'm not sure. It was, like...
Was it the end?
Yeah,
of the movie?
It's towards the end.
Yeah.
I didn't know what was going on. Because, he seemed normal... And then something happened, and I understand he probably had something going on, you know?
Yeah.
But in the time I watched it, I was just utterly confused.
Yeah. I think the book,
Oh, I'm sure the book is 100% better.
Well, I'm not saying it's better, but the book is actually very similar to the movie, and if you watch a lot of the deleted scenes from Percy and Wallflower, it's all the, like, stuff that was not in the movie. There was stuff that's in the book that I was, like, I remember seeing the movie, I was like, oh, that wasn't there, but then, like, they really did, like, film the whole movie, because it's not a long book. But, no, yeah, I think with Percy and Wallflower, it was, like, I forgot, there's never, like, I think he just has, like, depression, and then, like, some people are like, oh, he's bipolar, but I'm like, I don't think that's how that is.
Yeah, I thought he just had depression, but then, like, at the end, he, like, seems like he has, like, a psychotic little break going on.
I think at the end, he's, like, tries to kill himself, so he's, like...
Was that what happened?
That's what happens, he tries to kill himself.
I missed that.
Yeah, and then, so he just kind of is in that, like, weird, like, psychotic state, like, right before that, so...
Yeah. So I'm eating a sandwich while we talk.
Yeah, but no, Percy and Wallflower I really enjoyed it. I kind of want to read it again. Maybe I'll go back to the library and see if they have the physical book.
Well, I want to rewatch the movie. It's kind of a funny story. Because I thoroughly enjoyed that movie. Mm-hmm. And I know it's a book, and I went to go read the book.
I read the book, yeah.
Yeah, and I really want to read the book, but they only have it on an ebook, and I really don't have time to read books, but I have time to listen to books while I do other things. So that's why I'm only doing audiobooks. So I chose Get Well Soon because I was like, maybe it's kind of a funny story.
Yeah.
But it's not at all. Yeah. Like that. It's like someone read It's Kind of a Funny Story and was like, how about we put a fat girl in a mental hospital, but she doesn't learn anything and we don't talk about anything.
I read the book and then saw the movie for It's Kind of a Funny Story. I think I definitely liked the book better, but that's just all I remember. But no, I remember I was really into that book too. It was a good one.
Yeah, you see, I missed out. I never read anything. I was watching Looking for Alaska. Mm-hmm. And my roommate said to me, she was like, you seem like the kind of person, no offense, to go through a John Green phase. And I was like, yeah, I never read any of it.
Yeah, it's happening right now.
No, this is my John Green phase. Yeah. No, but and then I realized I never read any of those books that all the young adults read. Because I was reading fucking Harry Potter.
I never read Harry Potter or any of, like, the Percy Jackson
Yeah, you see, I read Percy Jackson in time. I should have read Harry Potter, and then I read Harry Potter. And then I switched dramatically to Stephen King. That was my process. Actually, I think it went Percy Jackson, Under the Dome, Harry Potter.
That's funny.
Yeah, like I can read, I promise everyone that, but I just wanted to go through my young adult phase, but then I realized all these young adult novels are fucking shit. They're like fan fictions that were just published.
Especially I feel like me reading, like, I am not a big reader at all. Never have been, probably never will be. But, and I will admit that, but I do remember, like, going and reading, like, Percy and Wallflower, and, like, it's kind of a funny story.
They're iconic books. People know them.
Also, just because I'm like, oh, it's about teens with depression. I'm like, that's me. So I'm like, I'm going to read this book and insert myself into every single character.
Well, isn't that the point, though? And that's what I want to do now.
Yeah.
But I can't, because they're not audiobooks.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess we should get into this case.
Yeah, probably.
Thanks for, Book Club Corner with Maggie and Tess. So this is like, every other white male serial killer. So let's jump into it. Mm-hmm. So this man's name is Arthur John Shawcross. It's funny because my dad's name is John Arthur, sorry. Oh. And he's also known as the Genesee River Killer.
Oh, a local
man.
Genesee River.
That's us.
Yeah.
All right. So he was born on June 6, 1945,
Okay.
at the U.S. Naval Hospital in Kittery, Maine. He was a small baby due to the fact that he was born 2 months premature.
Ah.
A small boy. His father, Arthur Roy Shawcross, was a corporal in the Army, so Bessie Shawcross's mother decided to take the tiny infant to her sister-in-law in Watertown, New York, until Arthur, Sr., his father, had completed his military service. It's Happy Veterans Day.
Oh, yeah, shit.
Shout out to my grandfather and kind of my mom, who may or may not be a veteran, and we'll never know. Like, she was in the National Guard for 6 years, but she has never considered herself a veteran.
Oh. I don't have anyone in the military in my family just because everyone was in Ireland, so, like, no one's...
I have a lot of vets in my family.
Yeah.
So, also, my mom's birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday, Joy.
Oh, happy birthday.
She went
She's
out for
Scorpio?
Is she?
Yeah, it's Scorpio
I guess
season.
she is a Scorpio. That makes sense.
That's rough, yeah.
You're a Scorpio.
I know, yeah, I know.
Okay. During his time near Watertown, many other related families of Shawcrosses moved in the area, and it would soon be known as Shawcross Corner due to the family's congregation. That's fun. Mm-hmm. Not. But Arthur was not fitting in with many other children. To gain attention, he talked like a baby all the time, even when he was 6.
That's weird.
Yeah. And chronically wet the bed. And that's something that others didn't appreciate. He was wetting the fucking bed. Okay. He also soon began to run away from home for the attention he received. At school, things weren't any better, though he maintained pretty decent grades. He was always a loner, and other children would tease him and call him Oddie. Like O-D-D-Y.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah.
Just so we're clear.
Yeah.
But he would also bully the younger children until they cried, so he wasn't good either. He would often fly into a rage at others in class and was in the habit of carrying an iron bar to school.
That's fucking dangerous.
Yeah, I know,
Holy
right?
shit.
As time passed, he became increasingly withdrawn. By the 8th grade, he had fallen behind by 2 years compared to the others, and his grades suffered immensely. To avoid the conflict at home, he would often flee to his grandmother's house. I hope that got caught on the...
I'm sure it did.
That was me cracking my neck. Okay. While several later tests showed that Shawcross's intelligence was subnormal or even, quote, borderline retarded. That's not my words. He received A's and B's in his first 2 years of grade school. That's me. Sorry. But he was later tested to have an IQ of 86. So that is significantly below average intelligence.
Yeah.
As we know. My IQ is 1 something.
How do you find that out?
There was an IQ test I took online that probably doesn't mean anything, and also IQ tests don't work, so it doesn't matter. There's a lot of discrepancies about IQ tests.
Yeah?
Yeah. Okay. Shawcross dropped out of school in the 9th grade, which that was me, and when he was 19, he enlisted in the Army. Another thing I read said that when he was 21, he enlisted in the Army. I'm gonna go with 19, because I trust Wikipedia.
Alright.
At this time, Shawcross divorced his first wife and gave up the rights to their 18-month-old son, whom he never saw again. He served 1 tour of duty in Vietnam, where he boasted of grotesque combat exploits such as, quote, beheading Mama Sans and nailing their heads to trees as warning to the Viet Cong. Which is kind of racist.
Well, yeah.
I was just saying, the Mama Sans thing, which I had to look up. It's just a term for mother. What have we guessed? It's like the females in Vietnam. Okay, though in fact he never saw combat. So he never actually did that. He's a fucking liar.
Oh, that's weird.
Huh. What a liar. After Vietnam, he was stationed at Fort Still in Lawton, Oklahoma as an armorer. His second wife, Linda, experienced several aspects of his disturbing behavior, especially his penchant for starting fires, as Army psychiatrists told her that Shawcross derived sexual enjoyment from fire starting. Is that how you feel when you light your candles? No, I'm kidding. Right now, Tess has a lot of candles lit in her apartment.
Well, I have one in my room.
And then one outside. So it's not really a lot.
No.
But it makes the house smell nice. They're big candles. They're thick.
Yeah, no. Me and my roommate fucking love Home Goods candles. We just go to the clearance aisle and we went ham. It was great. So we now have, like, 5 candles.
Yeah, but they're...
Like,
when I tell you they are big, they are thick.
They're like the 3-wick ones, yeah.
Alright, after his discharge from the Army, Shawcross moved with his wife from Oklahoma to Clayton, New York. His wife would soon divorce him, and he began committing crimes such as arson and burglary. His offenses earned him a 5-year sentence at Attica Correctional Facility and later Auburn Correctional Facility. After serving 22 months, he was granted an early release in October of 1971, in part due to his role in the rescue of a prison guard during a riot. Shawcross returned to Watertown, eventually getting a job with the Watertown Public Works Department and marrying for the 3rd time. Alright, now I know what you're thinking, Maggie. What has he done? So many bad things. Alright, let's get into it. On May 7th, 1972, he raped and killed 10-year-old Jack Owen Blake.
Holy shit.
Yeah. His first known victim after luring the boy into some woods in Watertown. The body wasn't found until authorities received a tip by phone on September 5th. May to September. That's a lot of months. Okay. On September 2nd, just prior to the body's discovery, he raped and killed 8-year-old Karen Ann Hill, who had been visiting Watertown with her mother for the Labor Day weekend. Shawcross was arrested the next day.
That's fucked up.
Good. A grand jury indicted Shawcross for the murder in Hill's death, but on October 17th, he was allowed to plead guilty to a lesser charge of first-degree manslaughter for both deaths and was sentenced to an indeterminate term at Attica with a maximum of 25 years. Jefferson County District Attorney William McCluskey explained the plea by stating there was no direct evidence linking Blake and Shawcross, only Shawcross's confession to the police. McCluskey also suggested Shawcross could have argued at trial that he was under extreme emotional disturbance, and a jury would have been likely to arrive at the verdict of manslaughter. In November, he was transferred from Attica to Greenhaven Correctional Facility. After 14 years, inexperienced prison staff and social workers concluded that Shawcross was no longer dangerous. Disregarding the warnings of psychiatrists who had assessed Shawcross as a schizoid psychopath, he was released on parole in April of 1987. He had difficulty settling down in communities as the neighbors would protest his presence and employers would fire him. Good.
Yeah.
He first moved to Binghamton, New York. Binghamton, New York. Is it?
It's like
Is it Binghamton? Bingham?
There's no ton at the end. It's just
It's just Bingham, even though there is a ton at the end.
Yeah, I think so. Okay. I've heard it said a few times. Probably the people who listen to this who are from here will correct me, but like
Bingham. Okay, New York,
weird.
And then
I see it all the time.
Yeah,
like written out.
And then relocated to Delhi, New York, with his girlfriend Rosemary Wally. When Delhi residents became aware of Shawcross's presence, the couple moved to nearby Fleischmann's, New York, only to be met with hostility there as well. Finally, in late June 1987, Shawcross parole officer moved him and Wally into a transient hotel in Rochester, New York.
Oh no.
That's us, baby. And he failed to notify the Rochester's authorities of this action. So no one knew he was here.
Great.
In mid-October, Shawcross and Wally found more permanent lodging at 241 Alexander Street in Rochester. That is very close.
That's like, I know exactly where the fuck that is. Holy shit.
Anyway. Murder times 2, the second time.
Oh my god.
In March of 1988, Shawcross began murdering again, primarily sex workers in the area, apart from June Stott, who was local and was the first one of his victims to be mutilated after her death. Right. He was convicted of 11 murders, with the 12th not officially charged to him. The victims were as followed. Patricia Ives, 25, Frances Brown, 22, June Cicero, 34, Darlene Trippi, 32, Anne Marie Steffen, 28, Dorothy Blackburn, 27, Kimberly Logan, age unknown, June Stotts, 30, Marie Weld, 22, Elizabeth Gibson, age unknown, and Dorothy Keller, 59. All the victims were murdered in Monroe County except for Gibson, who was killed in neighboring Wayne County. We know where that is. The retired detective Robert Keppel has argued that the detectives investigating the case over-relied on the concept of modus operandi, which is how they were killed, as we know because we are smart, at times searching for multiple suspects due to small differences in the profiles of each victim. They were usually strangled and battered to death and were often mutilated as well. Most of them were found near the Genesee River. June Cicero's body was discovered by aerial surveillance on January 3rd, 1990. Police arrested Shawcross 2 days later on January 5th, 1990. He had been spotted by a police surveillance team and by an eyewitness standing near his car, apparently urinating on a bridge over Salmon Creek, upon whose frozen waters the body of his final victim was dumped. So the trial. In November 1990, Shawcross was tried by Monroe County First Assistant District Attorney Charles J. Siragusa for the 10 murders in Monroe County. Sorry, I'm very sick still, and my nose is running. Shawcross pleaded not guilty for reasons of insanity, with testimony from psychiatrist Dorothy Lewis that he had brain damage, multiple personality disorder, now known as dissociative identity disorder, or DID, and post-traumatic stress disorder, and had been sexually abused as a child. I skipped over it, but in the Wikipedia, and only the Wikipedia article, it stated that he said that his mother would insert things into his anus, and I'm not going to get into that. I need to blow my nose. Okay. Shawcross, who had served in Vietnam with the 4th Supply and Transport Company of the 4th Infantry Division, had told many outlandish tales of murderous activities, including cannibalism, often perpetuated while alone in the jungle. From the time Shawcross returned from his tour of duty, he told acquaintances of seeing American soldiers skinned from their neck to their ankles, and claimed to have decapitated 2 women who he had victimized, placing their heads on poles. FBI criminal profiler Robert K. Resler reviewed the PTSD claim on behalf of the prosecution before the trial. Resler wrote that, quote, his claim of having witnessed wartime atrocities was patently outrageous and untrue. Patently outrageous and untrue. Prosecution psychiatrist Dr. Park Dietz, with a Z, said that Shawcross had antisocial personality disorder. Shawcross was held at the Sullivan Correctional Facility in Fallsburg, New York, until he died on November 10th. That's yesterday. But not actually, it's 2008. But yesterday was November 10th.
11 years ago yesterday.
Yeah. At the Albany Medical Center is where he died. In 2003, Shawcross was interviewed by British reporter Catherine English for a documentary on cannibalism. Shawcross bragged about slicing out and eating the vulvas of 3 victims, but refused to discuss his earlier claims of eating the genitals of his first victim, Jack Blake. I don't know why. Officials said that Shawcross complained of a pain in his leg on the afternoon of November 10th, 2008, the date of his death, and he was taken to Albany Medical Center, where he went into cardiac arrest, and Shawcross died at 9:50 p.m. and was cremated. He died of a heart attack.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. That's my...
That's what I was going to guess. I was like,
Yeah, it's a heart attack.
Yeah. Damn. That one's fucked up.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free.
There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer.
Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more.
You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership.
It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place.
You can download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Okay.
I wanna eat my Sammy.
Okay, so I have one. It's not It's not a repeat because it's a sequel to a movie that we did before.
Okay. Do you want me to guess?
No.
Is that why you're looking? Oh, okay.
I want you to guess. I'm just letting you know that because I think I forgot what day it was where it was like we were like trying to figure out if I had done that one before. It's like I know I haven't done this before, but it is a movie that it's not a repeat, but it is a sequel. So
I'm ready.
Okay.
Hit me with it.
It Chapter 2.
Oh.
And here's why.
Alright.
So he has his first set of murders and it's all kids. Right?
I guess, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, one's a kid, yeah.
Yeah. But wasn't the first set of murders was they were younger.
I forgot. I mean, look. Yeah, no, they're both kids. You're right.
Yeah, so the first set of murders is all, like, the kids and stuff. And then the second set is all adults, pretty much. Mm-hmm. So I was just thinking, like, oh, that's a similar thing. There's a break in time that he's, like, murdering again. So there you go.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Making connections, man.
But also the whole, like, him being... Because of all the, like, serial killers we've done, he does seem, like, very crazy. Like, very just fucked up and...
Yeah, it's weird because he never gave a reason why.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know their last were, like, sex workers the second time, but that's probably just because they were, like, easier to...
Yeah, no, but, like, there's no, like, he just seems like a genuinely, like, evil person.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Like, they all are, but, like, this one's just no reason, like, out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. So, and also, like, the whole, like, cannibalism thing, it's, like...
That's weird.
That's weird, and also a very, like, Pennywise thing, I feel. But, yeah, so, like, you have It Chapter 1 is kind of like the first set of murders, so now we're coming back for the part 2, which is the adult murders. And they're still, obviously, like, the kids go back to Derry as adults.
Yeah.
But in this case, Derry, and then, like, this river that Pennywise is in and all that shit, because he's in the stores and stuff, that's the Genesee River.
Shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna drive later when we pass the Genesee and just look out for Pennywise. I jump right in.
Take a little swim.
Yeah, in this freezing cold water.
Oh my god.
It'd be so cold.
The water's the turn off, not Pennywise.
No, oh god. And I want to clarify, I am not one of those fuckers who's into Pennywise. That shit's fucked
We ain't
up.
no clown fuckers here.
No, not at all. But yeah, so the whole, like, weird, just, like, no reason, like, torment of people kind of reminded me of that, where it's like, he has no business, like, doing these things to these people. He's just an evil entity, like, pure evil.
Well, I mean, Pennywise has to feed every 26 to 27 years, and then he goes into hibernation.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the reason.
That's the reason, but, like, he
needs food.
But, like, exists just, like, as an evil thing.
Oh, yeah, he's just an evil entity, deity, thingamajiggy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Spider
Like,
dude.
Obviously, like, the whole, like, murdering is, like, kind of the same thing, where it's, like, to carry, like, to let that out. So I guess
think it's so... Not to interrupt you at all, because this has nothing to do with what you were just saying. But I think it's so weird that this guy had so many girlfriends.
Yeah.
Even after he went to jail for, like, 22 years for killing someone.
Yeah, that is odd. Like, how would that...
Was he hot and sexy? Because I've seen a photo and he's not. At all. Cute.
I mean, if he's a psychopath or sociopath...
But he's not young. He's old, you know?
Well, maybe his girlfriends weren't, like...
I'm not saying they were hot and sexy. I'm saying... Still, if you're an old lady, you're not gonna be like, well, I know you killed a little boy and a little girl, but...
Yeah. Did they know that?
Well, clearly they were moving around.
I mean, I think the thing is, like, with people who are in relationships with, like, those people, it's like, even, like, with the whole, like, the Ted Bundy thing, you
I
can
guess
see how
they were,
someone
like, into it.
And also, like, you can be very easily manipulated, I feel like. Mm-hmm. So, like, if someone's like, oh, no, like, this, you know, like, it was all a misunderstanding type of bullshit, like, yeah. You could get misconstrued. But yeah, so It Chapter 2, just to do a quick little summary of what happens in that one. I'm just going off of, for this case, as with when I did It Chapter 1, this is just purely based on the movie, because obviously there's the book and then, like, the other like 90s little short movie thing or TV series thing. But like It Chapter 2 it starts with Pennywise like comes back.
He munches a munch on our poor little gay Adrian Mellon.
Yeah, so he like kills someone, and then Mike is still in Derry, and this was not conveyed very well by the movie. But all of the kids who left once they left Derry, they forgot everything about their childhoods.
Yeah.
Except for Mike. So Mike calls them, and they all have like these very visceral reactions, which would be way creepier if I had known that they didn't remember anything. But I had no clue about that.
Oh well, I didn't.
But they all come back, and then they are having like dinner at this Chinese restaurant. And then they like start getting like kind of messed with
fortune cookies.
Yeah, they. Sorry.
Bless you. Your cute sneezes are caught on tape.
Oh. But so yeah, but they're like having dinner, and then everyone's like freaking out. You have Bill Hader as Richie. He's, a comedian. He's being funny, but also depressed. And then
Are we spoiling it?
Yeah.
He is a closeted gay comedian man who does not write his own material.
Yeah.
And I love him. Mm-hmm. And then we have Eddie,
oh. Yeah, I would say, if you've seen anything about It Chapter 2, or if you've been on Tumblr
it is
ever.
Richie and Eddie, and they are in love. They get married at the end.
Oh, I wish. Oh my god. No, Eddie gets killed by Pennywise, but I think, I wasn't too upset by it because I feel like the, like, whole character growth of him, it made sense because he, like, he was always just, like, afraid to do stuff, and even, like, they went back to the house where Pennywise was, like, lair was, like, the entrance to his, like, cave thing.
Yeah.
And, like, Eddie was just, like, being very, like, scared and, like, just not...
And then Richie was like, you're stronger than you think.
Yeah, and then he, like, goes and, like, saves Richie, but then Pennywise kills him. It's just
I mean,
awful.
he dies in the book, too. I mean...
Yeah.
I feel like there would have been a little bit of an upsetness. I mean, a lot of people would have been happy, but I think a lot of people would have been like...
Oh, no, and I think, listen, if you're gonna, like, kill a character... and it happens in, like, a valid way where there's growth, I think it's fine,
Also, I can't wait for the deleted scenes, because I know that they did that death scene, like, 1,000,000 times.
Oh, really?
And there's, like, one when they're like, I love you,
Oh,
it happens.
fuck.
We know it's there.
I'm gonna cry watching that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's, it's really sweet. But then, Bev is back, and she, like, saw the future of, like, all their deaths and shit.
Because she when she was a kid, she was
saw
in the dead lights.
The dead lights that are, like,
so
Pennywise little...
Yeah, they're like little orbs in his mouth.
Yeah.
And so she's been having dreams about everyone's death, so she knows how everyone dies. Mm-hmm. And then there's Ben, who's hot and sexy now. He's an architect.
Yeah, he was the, like, fat kid in, like, the first one, but that
who had a crush on Bev, but then she ended up with Bill. Well, guess what? He's back, and they get together.
Yeah, it's super sweet.
I love Bev because in the novel, like, maybe the second chapter after Stan's death, she just fucking destroys her abusive husband.
Oh, I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah. So,
like, they showed a little bit in the movie, but
in the book, she, like, shatters, like, perfume bottles onto his face, and, like, she runs through the glass, and she's barefoot in the road with, like, bleeding feet, and she runs to a friend's house, and her friend helps her, and then she leaves and goes, like, to Derry. But, like, she, like, beats the shit out of her abusive husband, and you're like, yes, queen. That's the first thing you see of Bev, because how the book works is, like, they're adults, and then they go to children, and then they're adults. So, like, the first chapter is Stanley takes a bath, and it's like Stanley as an adult, he gets the call, he does, like, a hot flashback to being a child, and he kills himself.
Yeah.
By the way, Stanley kills himself.
Yeah.
And tangent. I was really, really hoping that when Stanley killed himself, he would have written it onto the tile of the wall, and that's how it would title card in.
Oh,
that's not what happened, and I was kind of upset. I feel like, I know it's a little cliche, but I really wanted my title card.
Yeah.
Like that.
No, yeah.
And sorry, continue.
No, I'm trying to think. Oh, and then Mike he's still in Derry, and he, like, is in
He's the what's the spice? You have your deodorant. What is that?
Old Spice?
He's the Old Spice guy. I'm not kidding.
No, yeah, you're right. I just think that's really funny how that's... how that came up. No, yeah, he's like lives in the library and has done like all this research, and he took some drug.
Dude, that was really
tripping.
confusing. I'm a little confused by that.
Yeah, no, he like was tripping, and he like was like, I know how to defeat Pennywise, and then he like drugs Bill, and then they're both like tripping.
Bill goes tripping for a while,
Yeah.
and it's all these like Native American things, and they like do this whole ceremony to like defeat Pennywise. But then the twist in the end is the Native Americans fucking failed. And but Mike's like, but we can do it. But he didn't tell anyone. He like scratched that part out of the weird bucket.
But that
whole thing was a little confusing to me.
It was confusing, and also I feel like the actual ending of it, chapter 2, was like they basically kill him by
They bullied him to death.
They bullied him to death.
He was like, you're a stupid clown.
Because it's like he feeds off of fear, so they're just like, oh, we're
not scared anymore. Yeah.
But it's like,
I think it was funny, but like, you know what?
But I think the lead up was just like, Bill and Mike were doing like fucking salvia in the like library, like tripping balls, and it's like they're like, oh, like all these secret things, and they're just like, you're a stupid little clown, and it's like,
you're a stupid clown, and he turns into a little baby.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was weird.
So, but
I liked the movie. Oh God.
Sorry, my door is so loud here. I'm so sorry whenever that happens. But anyways, the most important part is
our gay romance.
Is our gay romance.
And I really liked Bev and Ben.
Bev, the romance was good in the movie.
Because he kept the fucking yearbook that she signed his yearbook.
And she kept the little postcard that she didn't know he wrote it, but like it was a little poem.
That was romantic.
Yeah. And Richie and Eddie, my favorite, there's like flashbacks in the movie when they're back to kids and stuff, and then like
the hammock scene.
Yeah, and they're constantly just like fighting with each other, but it's just like
at this point, you know that Richie's like in love with Eddie, and you're like, shit.
Yeah. And then they're like playing. Then there's a scene because like at one point they all like split up because they have to go do some bullshit or whatever. The plot of this movie is so kind of confusing, and like there's so much that I'm not even going to try and like give you every single reason why stuff happened. But they have to get like a token to like defeat Pennywise for the ritual, and like Richie goes to the arcade, and there's like a flashback of him. Like this is the part where you're like, oh, he's gay, because like
he gets called the F word. By Henry Bowers, the homophobic slur.
Yeah, Henry Bowers calls him a fag, and then
because Henry Bowers thinks he's like hitting on his cousin, which I mean he kind of was.
You can tell he has like a little crush on him because he wants to keep playing video games with him, like they're playing like Street Fighter or something, and like being all cute, but then like.
Yeah, but then he yells at him, and Richie runs out, and he goes to the park. And this is true to the novel because Richie's not gay in the novel. Richie might be gay in the novel, but Eddie's the gay
coded
character, not Richie. But I think it's great that they actually have Richie be the he's gay one.
Yeah.
Eddie was always coded, you know?
Like, Eddie was always gay, but, like, Richie, having him be the one that's like, yeah.
Yeah, and so Richie's fear was there's a Paul Bunyan, is that his name?
Yeah.
Statue in the park, and that was his fear in the book. He was scared of it coming alive and attacking him, but this time it comes alive, but also it's mean to him.
Yeah, it's like kind of being like, oh, like I know your secret and stuff like that.
Yeah, I want to play truth or dare and like...
Yeah, which honestly, that part of the movie, like that whole part with the Richie thing and with like that scene was very good, and probably like of the like little break-off scenes, like
the best.
Probably the best, and also like the most like, yeah, this would be like terrifying.
Yeah, no, yeah, especially because in like... the town they're living in. And also there's like a zombie version of Adrian Mellon, who is the gay character that dies in the beginning of the show. He's the first person that dies in the book too. He is the introduction to the book. He comes by and like hands adult Richie, not young Richie, like when Richie's in the park, like a flyer to Richie's funeral, which is like a callback to the missing posters. But then, and that's how it does the flashback between the park and the young him. But I really like, tangenting off. I really like the It movies because of the background actors. Because in that scene when Richie's looking up at the Paul Bunyan character, like all the characters are swaying in the back, like fucking creepy, and then they just stop. And I hate it.
One of my favorite things in horror movies is really like attention to detail and background. I think like the two best ones that do this The best one I think that does is It Follows.
Really? Oh, because of all the walking
Because
people.
of the walking people, so you're always looking.
I'm gonna be genuine with you. I did not like It Follows, but I know what you're talking about with the background characters.
Yeah, like
you're
I'm
always
saying,
like, oh, they're fucking walking.
like you're always looking for someone like in the background, like.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, is creepy. And also the other movie, which is like the classic example of this, is Halloween, where you have like Mike Myers and like his car is in a lot of the background things. And there's like, I think the best scene of it is the police chief is talking to someone just like on the street in the middle of the day, and he's like talking about like, oh, we have to find him, and you see his car that he stole pulls up behind. You can see him in the car, and he comes around. And it's so, like, you could miss it, but it's so creepy that it is there, and it's so good. But even just, like, the mic, like, that's one of my, like, favorite things in horror movies, just because it's so scary. It's just, like, subtle details in the background. It's
also,
so good.
in It Chapter 1, the library scene when Ben is flipping through the book.
Oh.
The fucking librarian, she, like, is smiling at him, and she's blurry, and I've seen this movie, like, 4 times. But the first time I saw it, I was like, maybe she's just looking at him. The second time, I was like, no, she's being creepy as fuck. Right back there.
Oh no, the background characters in it are so good.
It scares me.
It's
like I know that the clown's there and he's creepy, but the creepiest part is that fucking librarian.
Yeah.
It gives me the chills.
Oh yeah.
The same could be said about like Haunting of Hill House and everything.
Yeah,
With all the ghosts, but it's different because they're hidden, you know.
Yeah, Haunting of Hill House is more of like a hidden detail versus this is like
they're clearly there.
This causes a shift in the scene for sure.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, it does a really good job with that. It Chapter 2 is really good. Also,
it is really good. It's just like they packed a lot into one movie.
They packed a lot, and I, as someone who did not read the book, was
It can
very
be confusing.
confused by a lot of the details of it.
Also, in the It miniseries, I watched it, and it was long, and yes, I was tired. But I feel like a lot of what the ending was not in the It miniseries. But, like, I could be wrong. It has been a while. I was in middle school. But I feel like the whole, like, Native American whole aspect thing, either I completely forgot it, or it just was never in that miniseries. And they just bullied they just killed the clown.
Yeah. This is unrelated, but the arcade scene reminded me of this. Friday,
Oh, yeah.
we went to the Strong Museum of Play. They had a college night there, and it's like a museum in Rochester, if you don't know. But it's basically like, it has a bunch of old like toys and like comic book stuff and like a lot of like vintage games. And it's just it's a super cool place if you ever are in Rochester and like looking for things to do. It's absolutely wonderful.
It was the best night of like my life in like a very long time.
Yeah.
And I think that's really funny because it didn't involve anything illegal, and that's a good time.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Like I genuinely had such a fun time, and I didn't want to leave.
No,
it was like
you were there
midnight.
the whole time, yeah.
And I was like, I guess we should go, but
Yeah, but no, it was so fun. But yeah, they have a bunch of fun. They have like, because that's where we were playing Street Fighter.
yeah,
There, and it was,
I beat her.
Yeah, but no, yeah, because they have like this on the second floor. There's like they have a bunch of video games there. They have stuff from like Super Mario 64 to like air hockey, and then they have like a room where it's so cool. I posted a really good picture of it on my Instagram, but
Oh yeah, it was really good. It was on my story.
yeah, but it was like it's all like old arcade games and stuff. But there was like they have like Donkey Kong. I was playing Tron. So fun. Yeah, I love old arcade games. They're so much fun. There's a place back home by me. Someone opened up. They have They had like a bunch of old arcade games. So they opened up. It's like a little like. It's just an arcade, but instead of like tokens, it just like you pay like a flat fee at the beginning, and then you can just play as much as you want.
Yeah,
which is super fun.
When I went on my girls' trip to Toronto, we went to an arcade bar.
That's
and
cool.
so all like the beers were like named after arcade games. Like I had like I think a Tetris themed one or something.
That's cool.
And like so it was a flat fee and you could play any of the games. There were some arcade games, and then there were like some like Wii games there too, but the majority were pinball games.
Oh yeah.
And they also had the one when you like roll the ball.
Ski hockey.
Yes.
I love ski hockey. I'm so good.
It was
at
super fun.
Yeah.
And it was in Canada.
That's fun. We should go there.
We should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but that's definitely, if you're looking for things to do in Rochester, super cool place. Definitely worth.
It's also meant for children, but clearly we're not children, so.
It's meant for children, but also, like, it's one of those museums where it's like, there's enough, like, if you're an adult going with kids, it would be super fun. But also, like, I went there once before during freshman orientation. They had, like, a field trip there. And I was like, oh, yeah, sure, I'll go.
My roommates went as well.
And, yeah, no, it was very fun. And that was, like, a day where it's like there was kids around and stuff, but it was still super cool. So, yeah, highly would recommend.
So, I'm feeling like we're off the topic of it, so I'm going to switch it. As you know, Dead Meat came out with their new podcast episode on Midsummer, which I haven't seen, so now I refuse to listen to because I want to watch Midsummer. So, I had to scroll down to the only other podcast episode I hadn't listened to, which was the review of Us, which I also haven't seen. So I listened to it all the way through, and Tess, we need to see Us.
Okay.
First of all, y'all, if you have seen Us, you should definitely go and listen to the Dead Meat episode because they, like, analyze the shit out of everything in that movie because it needs to be analyzed because Jordan Peele's a man who...
He's a man who
He goes deep.
A man who thinks, if you will.
Yeah. But have you listened to that episode?
No. With Dead Meat, I don't listen to Dead Meat too much because I don't like listening to it if I haven't seen the movie.
Oh, you see, I'm just like a spoiler freak. But I didn't want to listen to like the good movies like Midsummer and Us. Like I would purposely skip them.
Oh yeah.
Even
like the Ready or Not, like I didn't listen to that episode, then we saw it.
I did, yeah.
Then I went
but
back.
we need to see Us, so check in later with me and Tess, or us, because we will be talking about Us, because I will force her to watch it with me.
We'll watch it sometime this weekend, then you can pick a case that will somehow, I can do that,
Sure,
so we can just have an excuse
we could just make it work.
That's true, I've done worse things.
Yeah, no, but it sounds good. We also need to watch Midsummer.
Yeah.
On a side note, that's it. That's all I have to say. Yeah. Oh, recommend me some books so that I can listen to a decent book for once. If y'all don't mind, could you comment a book title?
Yeah. I really want to read Abby Jacobson's memoir thing so badly because I am in love with her.
I was looking for that. It's not an audiobook.
Oh, damn. There probably will. It kind of like, it only just came out on paperback. Oh, I might be getting it because I just realized I think I have like a little bit of an Amazon gift card left. So, and now that's on paperback, it's not like $20, so hell yeah. But it sounds really good. It's just like she like drove across the country by herself and was just doing like illustrations and like stuff like that.
Let me guess. I know that you commented it for one of my Instagram polls. What's it called? It's called
I might regret this.
Well, you shouldn't let me guess.
Oh, well, you were saying it.
Tess.
You were saying it.
All right. Whatever. I still want to read Girl, Stop Apologizing and Girl, Wash Your Face, but I refuse to buy them.
Yeah.
Or read them. I think that's all we have. I think we're really just ranting now.
Yeah, so we should stop because I can rant for hours.
It's also nighttime and you need to drive me home in the snow.
That's true.
Well, this, if it keeps snowing, this weekend might be the first weekend that Maggie ever built a snowman. Because I've never built one, and people need to build one with me, because I don't know how. And I also need to make a snow angel, so look out for that. If it keeps snowing like it is now, which I hope not, because I still need to get home, look out for some cute pictures of me and Tess in the snow.
Yeah.
Yay. I think that's it. All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Don't kill anyone, and keep listening. Bye.
Bye.